This 3D mesh was created using a 2D image and a depth map. Now, I want to remove the entire backside of the mesh that looks something like this. I'm going to show you how to do that today using the new feature that I just added into zForm, a Blender add-on that I developed. In a separate video, I'll show you how to manually do that without using zForm, using modifiers and a cube. I found this technique to be really effective in cutting out a clean backside. As a starting point, you'll need to uninstall the old version of zForm. So we'll go in the top left and edit, and then preferences, and then search for zForm. Then you will click on uninstall right here. Okay, click OK. Close out Blender entirely. Then open up Blender again. And then in the top left, go into preferences, then go to the add-on section. In the top right, click on install from disk. Then find the newest version of zForm. For this update, it's version 2.1.1. Select it. In the bottom right, click install from disk. Now you have the newest version of zForm ready to go. Then type in N on your keyboard to open up the side panel and go into the zForm tab. Next, you'll see a new section that's called background removal. Let's expand that out real quick. The tool defaults to not using the background removal as a starting point, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. Let's expand everything out, and we'll go through the same process as we've done before. I'm going to use just a single image rather than a video or a directory. Next, let's open up the image, and it's this one here. Okay, now we need to find the corresponding depth map, and it's this one here. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we'll see again the background removal section. As a starting point, I'm going to leave it as is, unchecked, and then click Apply Depth Map. So this is how it's worked before in zForm. Let me go into the solid mode. This is what the mesh looks like in solid mode. Now I want to remove that entire back side of the mesh, the square flat area in the back. I want to first point out what the side view looks like. This is what the side view, it's okay. And then the back side is hollow. Okay. And let me go back to the front view. One recommendation. Before enabling the new feature for use background removal, I would try not to go above 8 for the subdivision level, at least while you get started using this new feature so you can gauge how well your computer handles it. You can totally increase the subdivision level higher than 8 when using the background removal, but I wanted to suggest as a starting point when you're testing the new feature to make sure your computer can handle it. The reason for that is when you enable the background removal, it is adding one more subdivision modifier. After a lot of testing, I found the most success by adding this new subdivision level in the background removal process. It gives the cleanest cut in the back. Otherwise, you might get the jagged edges, which defeats the purpose of trying to cut out the backside anyways. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to check the use background removal. Okay, you'll now see a new cube here. This cube will be used to cut out the entire backside of the mesh and offers a lot of control on precisely where you want to cut out the mesh. Also, you'll notice two new fields in the background removal section, one for subdivision and another for Boolean object. I purposely left out the reference of the Boolean object because once you assign it, that's going to start removing the background, and it can take a little bit of time depending on how dense your mesh is. First thing is make sure you have the cube selected like I do here. This is the Boolean object that we're going to reference in the Boolean object section here in the background removal using the eyedropper. Let me go into the side view by pressing 3. Whatever mesh is contained inside of the cube, that's what's going to be cut out of the mesh. For a better explanation, I'm going to move the Boolean object along the y-axis by pressing GY, and then move it all the way to the back like this here. This mesh you see inside the cube, that's what's going to be cut out. But we still need to resize the cube just a little bit. Let's go back into the front view again, and just make sure that the cube fits entirely over the mesh. So I'm going to press S to scale. I'm going to do something like that there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'll go back into the side view again. You notice that there's a lot of extra space to the right of the mesh, which is further along the y-axis. I'm going to scale the cube down by pressing S and Y and scale it down like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to move the box again, pressing GY, and then move it like that. Align it where you want to cut off your mesh. So I'm going to do it about right there. Just to double check everything, I'm going to go to the top view by pressing 7 and then look in. This is where the mesh is going to be cut out in. Then I'm going to go into front view again by pressing 1, and everything looks good from the front view. I'll go one more time on the side by pressing 3. Everything looks good for this. Let's give this a try. I'm going to go back into the front view. Then in the little eyedropper here in the bottom right, I'm going to click on it and then pick the Boolean cube that we were just adjusting here. All right, so now we've removed the back side of the mesh. The cut is really smooth. Let's take a closer look. All right, and then we go back into the front view. At any time, you can adjust the location of cube, which will impact the cutting of the backside. For example, let me go back into the side view and then press GY to move the cube along the Y-axis like this here. In this example, less of the mesh is being cut out on the backside. But going into the front view, you'll see a little artifact in the top left. I realize there's a little bit of manual effort involved in this step, but it gives you the most control to go precisely where you want to cut out the backside of the mesh. Now I'm going to reset to where it was before without the artifact. All right. Another thing to keep in mind is if you disable and uncheck the use background removal, that will remove the Boolean cube that we were using to cut out the mesh, as well as remove the additional modifiers for the use background removal. I'm going to disable right now. And then you see that the Boolean object, which was here, is gone, entirely gone, and we're back to the original. At any time, you can enable the use background removal again. I realize there should probably be one more feature in the background removal section, which is hiding both the modifiers that are used for background removal. That way you can keep them and hide them rather than removing them and starting over again. As a quick review, I'm going to go through the same process again to remove the background of the mesh. Now I want to show you what the modifiers tab looks like. So let's select the object, the face object, and then on the right side, there'll be a modifiers tab here. I'm going to expand this out. There are several modifiers that zForm uses in the tool. The first one is subdivision. I'm going to collapse it. The second is displace. The third is smooth. The fourth is solidify. And then for the background, this one is actually a subdivision modifier. It was renamed to bg_subdivision just for my coding. So each time somebody disables the use background removal, the subdivision modifier can be deleted. And the same goes for the last one, this background removal. It's actually a Boolean modifier, and it's using a difference option. And then the reference for the Boolean object is the cube that we have. That's the structure of all of the modifiers using zForm. Next, let's apply all the modifiers. I'm going to move this back a little bit here. As a reminder, we added another subdivision modifier when we're cutting out the background. So it is pretty dense mesh, but the benefit is we have a very clean cut, no jagged edges. There are pros and cons to both. When we click on apply all modifiers, it might take a little time, especially if your subdivision level for within mesh properties is above 8. It really does depend on your machine. So I have a MacBook M1 chip, and it can handle 8 pretty well. But if I increase the subdivision to 10 for the mesh properties and then use apply all modifiers, it will take some time. I'm going to click on apply all modifiers now. It might take a few seconds. That didn't take too long. But again, as a reminder, if the subdivision was 10, that would have taken my machine a lot longer. So let's say you wanted to export this as an OBJ. Make sure you select the object, the face here. Then in the top left, you go under File and Export, and then select Wavefront OBJ. An important step in this process is check on selection only, and then go all the way down to the bottom and choose Export Wavefront. If you have any questions or challenges using the new feature in zForm, feel free to message me directly in Blender Market. There's a Contact Creator button. I really appreciate it, and more videos to come on how to remove the background of a mesh. Okay, that's all I got.